Everybody, it must be Friday, and this is Hit the Track. We are excited to be here. I'm your host, Scott the Steamroller Steen, joined as always by Tom Macrina, aka WryCape. He is the resident NASCAR expert around here. It's just you and me, buddy. We had a full house last week, had a couple of guests, and not so much feast or famine for this show.
That's right. But we only need one person for the winner, so
That's right.
I'm not worried about it.
That's right. That's absolutely correct. So, of course, don't forget we are we're sponsored today by hitthepick.com. Hit the pick, hit the track, get it, see what we're doing there. Don't forget to stop by and check out hitthepick.com, your best site for free plays, paid plays, whatever you got. We got the five of us over there. I'm fitting to go 4-0 here in college basketball. Tom started off 3-0, got one more play tonight. I know you're always hot in the NBA and the NHL. And, of course, Wes is just smoking the NBA right now. So whatever you're looking for, get your butt over there, hitthepick.com. And for a limited time, you can get your $100 site credit bonus just for signing up, just for saying, hey, we're here. Give me that hundo. And you know what? We'll do it. So make sure you get over there and check that out as well. And you can follow us on all your regular social media platforms at Hit the Pick Wins there on X. And I think it is just Hit the Pick everywhere else.
I don't know that there's anywhere else, but
okay.
Yeah.
Good chat. All right. Well, we're getting there.
Yeah, we're getting there. We're working on it.
And we are on Discord. So if you like chatting sports betting in real time, there is no better place to do it than the Hit the Pick Discord channel. Tom, what's the name of the Hit the Pick Discord channel?
Hit the Pick Discord channel.
There you go. There you go,
yeah,
man.
Yeah, you. If anybody needs a link, feel free to hit me up in DMs at WryCape.
Yeah, just slide into Tom's DMs, like you do. All right, buddy. So this is the part where I introduce everybody. So yeah, it's Tom. So there he is. So we got news and notes to get to, my friend. A couple of things going on. You want to talk about Briscoe and his bad / not bad spoiler that ended up being the case?
Yeah. So during Daytona, supposedly he had a bad spoiler. He was supposed to lose 100 points. He was supposed to lose his crew chief for 4 weeks. And they appealed this week, and they actually won the appeal. So that's huge for Briscoe, his team, JGR. 100 points is a lot of points in NASCAR.
Right. Yeah, very good.
Especially when you haven't been doing well.
Must have had Joe Pesci defending him. Did a nice job.
My cousin Vinny.
Right. So I want to know, do they come over if they find a bad spoiler and they go, I think we have a spoiler alert? That's right, folks. You get jokes and NASCAR information here. Hopefully you're going to get better NASCAR information than your jokes. So the other thing I wanted to talk about, Tom, they're bringing back the Goodyear option tire. You want to talk about that a little bit? The goal for the option tires to increase grip, which is cool. You get 6 sets of regular tires. You get 2 sets of option tires that you can run anytime you want to. So the good news is increases your grip, gives you a little better feel. You can go faster for a while, but they wear out faster. So you're gonna screw up your pit strategy if you put them on at the wrong time. So, Tom, what's your opinion on the option tires?
Yep, I like it. We saw it at Richmond. We also saw it at the All-Star race last year. As you said, it's just a softer tire. Tire wear is great for any track. It helps with strategy. So, yeah, I like it. They have 2 sets. They have to use 2 sets. So everybody's going to be on the option tire at least twice. So
they have to use. So they don't have to use their 6 regulars, but they do have to use both options, huh?
Correct.
Very interesting. Very interesting. Tom, let's talk about grip at this particular track. It's out there in the desert. Do we have a little sand problem that chews up tires quicker than they normally would?
Well, unfortunately, I think Arizona is looking at a cold front this weekend.
Ooh, going to be down in the 70s?
Possibility of some rain.
So, I'm sorry. What now? There's going to be rain in Arizona?
It's what I was reading earlier.
Mother Nature goes to great lengths to try to rain out some of these races. You know it? I mean, when you're really reaching deep into the bag of tricks to rain out a race in Phoenix. So that should keep an eye on that. Maybe we'll be racing Monday and there'll be nobody in the stands.
I hope not.
So let's talk last week. They ran the Circuit of the Americas, COTA, if you're cool. Christopher Bell won it again. And that's a two for him. We'll talk about his chances of a three-peat here in just a minute. Tom, what do you think of the race last week? Not a he was able to slide into the lead there with a couple laps to go and fend them off and get the win.
Yeah, I as I said last week, road courses are not my favorite. This one was actually really good. Unfortunately, this is the last year. The contract's up, so hopefully they renew it. But it was great racing. Unfortunately, my card wasn't so great.
Yeah, who did you have and what was the closest driver that you had to the action?
So we had Chastain. He was in the mix, not really to win it. We did have Tyler Reddick, top 3, so we cashed that. Saved us a little bit.
Right.
But yeah, it was pretty much the same guys competing for the win the whole time. SVG.
Well, yeah, and we talked about SVG a little bit last week, and we talked about the youngster, the 18-year-old Zilich, making his initial Cup start. He really got caught up with a couple of bad breaks, didn't he?
Mm-hmm. He looked impressive, though.
Yeah, he really did. He won the Xfinity race on Saturday, and he got caught up in the first lap shenanigans there, knocked him back to 33rd, and then he was able to advance through the field, got up to 14th, which was his original starting position, and then got taken out by his teammate, Daniel Suarez. Just bad racing luck all the way around, huh?
But he did another guy I like in that Xfinity series, also a rookie, is Quapple. So he was up there. He was actually in the lead, and Zilich took the lead from him. He's another guy we're going to be looking at throughout the season.
Is that Travis Quapple?
No, I forget what it is.
I know that name from somewhere. Is his now?
I think the family is in racing.
Okay, I didn't know if I'd seen him locally or nationally or.
Yeah, I heard his name a few times, and then when I actually went to look, I'm like, oh, okay. Like I recognize the spelling of his name is KVAPIL, something like that.
Yep.
Yeah, I recognize the last name.
Yeah, that's man, and nothing tells you that you're getting old more than like you'll hear a name and you're like, oh my God, is he still racing or is he still in the league? You're like, no, that was his dad.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, that makes a lot more sense then. All right. And how did our guests? Did you write down our guests? How did they do?
I didn't. I think Alex Bowman finished top 10. So most of them were on that. I thought Alex Bowman was going to do better than that, so I wasn't on his top 10.
All right.
Yeah. All in all, it wasn't the best show.
All right. So let's talk about this. Let's talk about this race. This is like when teams go and play in the Superdome and they're having the Super Bowl in the Superdome, because this is Phoenix. Except Phoenix always gets the Super Bowl, at least for now. They get the final race of the year that determines the champion. They also get a spring race, and of course it's at the Phoenix Raceway in Avondale, Arizona. Tom, do you know where that is?
My guess is right outside of Phoenix. But
I've never been to Avondale. I've been to that area a little bit, like Surprise and stuff.
But it's when they pan out to like outside of the track, it's desert. It's desert.
Oh man. So they're going to get a cold front with some possibility of rain. Interesting. Okay, so this is a intermediate track, I guess you would call it, and it is flat, man. There's not much banking on this at all. It's a mile long, 312 laps is what they'll be running. First stage is 45 laps, second stage is 90 laps, and the last stage is 312 laps. Why did they break it up like that, huh?
I don't know. I guess I don't know.
Why you go 50, 50, 50, 1.
So I'd split them up evenly.
Or 100,
honestly, I'd get rid of the stages altogether. I'm not. It's not my favorite thing.
What do I know? It's going to be at 3:30 Eastern time on FS1. And look at this, Tom. Who won it last year?
Christopher Bell.
That's right. Christopher Bell won it last year, and of course, he's got the victory in Atlanta and the victory at the COTA last week. He's going for the three-peat, Tom. And, he hasn't been particularly good at this track, except for last year when he came and just won the race. Up until then, he had just 2 top 10 finishes in 8 starts. So he hadn't been fantastic at that track, but he certainly did a nice job last year. And that's it. So
it is a good track style for him, though.
The flat track,
short.
Yeah, he is similar to the road courses or some of the short tracks that he kind of grew up on.
Yeah, like New Hampshire track, something like that. The shape of Phoenix is different. Yeah, right. But Dover has huge banking, so it's definitely a different style of racing. Dover's faster too.
All right, so let's talk about some of the favorites. As you might suspect, Christopher Bell is the favorite, actually the co-favorite, plus 500, with Ryan Blaney also up there. So, or Ryan Blaney, I'm sorry, Bell's at 500. I got a bigger print on that site. Bell's at 500, Blaney's at 550, followed by Larson, Byron, and Logano. Logano, a guy who's traditionally raced pretty well here as well. So, Tom, what you looking at?
Well, as I said last week, I don't like to bet on the guy who won last week. It's hard to win 1 in a row. It's hard to win 2 in a row. It's really hard to win 3 in a row.
And that would be a pretty impressive feat, right? Because 3 very different tracks. You've got the High Bank Super Speedway there in Atlanta. You got the road track, and you got the flat mile here. That would be impressive if he pulled it off, no?
Yes, and I kind of feel like he can, but I had to stick to what has gotten me this far. And
that's fair.
I'm not going to fade him, but I will not bet him. Same thing with Blaney. He's really, really, really good at this track. He's always there at the end. Just the price is not good. And unfortunately, I think both of these guys are going to qualify really well. So I don't think we're going to get a better price. So if you like Bell, if you like Blaney, take him now.
Yeah, and Blaney's a guy. That's an interesting. It's an interesting price on Blaney because he's a guy, like you said, that runs well here over the last 10 races. He's had 9 top 10 finishes, 7 top 10 finishes, or 7 top 5s, but he's never won. He hasn't been able to break through and pick up the win, at least lately. So,
even in his championship season, which Phoenix is the final race, Ross Chastain actually won that race. Blaney came in second.
Right. And Byron is a guy that runs well there as well. He's got 7 top 10s, 3 top 5s, and a win. We're getting a
here's the thing about both Bell and Byron. Since they have a win, Phoenix is a championship race, so they might be trying some things for November, like different strategies, trying different things with their car and whatnot.
That makes sense.
Yeah, that's also a reason it makes it hard to bet those 2 guys.
Okay. All right. Decent price on Hamlin. He's a guy that's run pretty well here. He's at plus 1,100, and Hamlin has 5 top 10s, 3 top 5s. Again, somebody that hasn't won yet at that track, but maybe not a bad guy to put in your top 5 there at somewhere in the neighborhood of plus 320, right?
Yeah,
or top 3 rather. Sorry,
Toyota hasn't really, especially in the next gen car, hasn't really done good at this track. Hendrick is pretty much dominated, except for the years when Penske has. So I'm really looking at Fords. I'm looking at Chevys. I do have one Toyota bet today, and that's for him to be a top Toyota. But there's nobody in the Toyota camp that I.
So you're betting for Hamlin to be the top Toyota?
No, not Hamlin.
Who?
I don't know what to. We had 3 weird races. Denny Hamlin has a new crew chief. So this is actually going to be the first time where we're going to see if the crew chief, what kind of strategy he has for Hamlin. Yeah, I don't know. I usually back Hamlin a lot. I need to wait to see how he is on these specific tracks,
Okay.
strategy wise and whatnot. I need to see him have a good finish.
All right. Yeah, that's fair. So what do you have cooked up for uh, this race? What's your favorites you want to share?
All right. So my favorite outright is Kyle Larson. This is based on price. You could get him at plus 850 on FanDuel. He has a strong track record here. He did win the race in 2021 where he became the champion. He has poles here in 2021 and 2023. I think his aggressive driving style is going to help him here. He had a bad start at Coda. I think he's going to want to shake that off. He's going to push hard. And as I said, Hendrick leads the series with 13 wins at Phoenix. You usually don't get a price this good on Kyle Larson, the best driver in the world, plus 850. This number will get worse after qualifying too. So.
Well, and if you go to different sites, it already has, and this is a great spot to put in our weekly reminder to shop your lines because you've got it at plus 850 on FanDuel. I've got the DraftKings open, and I've got him at plus 700. So
yeah, I saw plus 650 somewhere too.
See, that's a significant difference when you're talking about 650 to 850. You're looking at almost 18% higher value there. So that's the kind of edge you can't even if you didn't necessarily like Larson as a bet. When you see that kind of value, it's something that you're almost forced to play just because there's so much value added, right?
Yep, I do the same thing. I'll I look through my lines and I see just like that. Yeah. 200 difference, and I mean, you had to take the 850. You just don't see it much.
No, that's a significant difference right there for sure. And you rounding him out, if you didn't quite have complete confidence in him, you can get him top 3 at plus 210 or top 10 at minus 105, which I'm sure you've got better numbers over there at FanDuel as well on both of those, huh?
FanDuel is kind of weird with it. Their top 10s don't always correlate with their outright prices.
It's almost like going to a horse race when you see there's like a disproportionate amount of money in the like the place pool.
Yes,
and giving you better value there, which we could do a whole thing on horse racing. Are you a horse guy?
I used to be. I don't get too much into it now.
It's a lot of fun, but it's hard to beat the state take right off the top, where most of them are like 16 to 18, 19% right off the top of the handle. That's hard to beat, my friend. It really is. That's a hard road to do a long run success. So, all right, you got anybody else to win or top 10? What are you looking at?
Yeah, I got so my Ford guy, I like Chris Buescher. I laddered him top 5 at plus 400. You can find that on 365, and I took him outright. So he showed consistent strength at Phoenix. 2024, he finished second, right behind Christopher Bell. His average finish here is among the best. His recent performances suggest that he is going to improve, especially when he's been with RFK Racing. He's a good tire manager. He has smooth driving still, and he should benefit from this option tire. This strategy should do him well.
Okay. Excellent. Yeah, he's coming off, like you said, a second place finish last year in the spring at Phoenix, and somebody that's been pretty darn good there at that strike. That's good value on him. And again, you're getting much better prices than I am. So, all right. Anybody else catch your eye?
Yep. So I'll talk about my Toyota guy. That's going to be Chase Briscoe. So he won the spring race in 2022. One thing, when handicapping this, you want to look more at the spring race and less at the fall race, because in the fall race, a lot of teams are trying things out for next season. If you're out of the playoffs, I mean, how much motivation do you have in this final race? You're ready
Right.
for the off season. So
Yeah,
you want
especially
to
if you
go
don't have a
heavy.
winning car.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, you want to be heavier on the spring races rather than the fall races.
It's a great tip. That's a great tip for sure.
Yeah,
Those
so 2022 was his first Cup Series victory. He finished ninth here last year. He's competitive here. Over his Cup Series starts here, he's raced 8 times. He has 1 win, 2 top 5s, 3 top 10s. Average finish around 14 and a half. He has experience in this track. He's comfortable with the unique layout and the demands. This track tends to favor veterans and consistent track records. Uh, he's upgraded his car from last year, being in a 19. The 19 has historically been good here. So I like him for top Toyota. I found that at plus 475 over at MGM.
okay. All right.
And then I have a head-to-head. We could get to that in a little bit.
Okay. All right. I don't hate catching Logano at top 4 at plus 260. He's had a fair amount of success here. He has to get past Blaney and Busher, but that's really about it. So what do you think about that?
Yeah, I like Logano. I like the Penske guys in general. Oh, I actually do have I have one more
Okay.
group bet of a Ford, and it kind of goes in with this. This is going to be Josh Berry. So I have him to win Group D. That's on ESPN. I found him at plus 250. He's going up against Gibbs, Keselowski, Bubba Wallace. Gibbs has looked awful for a while now. Keselowski, this isn't a good track for him. Same thing with Bubba Wallace. Josh Berry in 2024, he showed promise here. It was his rookie year. He was with the SHR team. So now he's with Wood Brothers, which Penske hooks up Wood Brothers. So he kind of has a Penske car, which I said I like the Penske's. But he's strong on the shorts. He had a third place finish at Darlington. He was competitive at Richmond and Martinsville. Last spring, he started 23rd. He finished 11th. So I like him in that group. Yeah, I guess if you're shopping around, you can't really shop around. You have to get an ESPN because you want this bet with these 3 guys: Gibbs, Keselowski, and Wallace.
Yeah, like you're saying, Keselowski just has 4 top 10 finishes over his last 10. Bubba's just has 2. So it sounds like a pretty good grouping. What kind of price you getting on that?
I think plus 250.
Okay, that seems right along.
I kind of feel like he's going to qualify good too. I don't know about these other guys. Gibbs probably will too. Keselowski won't.
All right, and you said you got a head-to-head.
Yeah, so I have a head-to-head. Last week we took Chastain. He didn't do good for us. I think he's going to do this good for us this time. I'm taking Ross Chastain over Chase Elliott. You can find that at plus 120 on BetMGM. So this is a great track for Ross. He won the Cup Series here, finale in Phoenix. As I said, he's the one who beat Blaney in the Blaney's championship season. Last year, he came in 6th at this race. He was runner-up in 2022 at the spring race. His average finish since the introduction of the next-gen car has been very impressive. He's a top contender. His driving style is good for this track. He's aggressive but calculated. So he suits Phoenix well. I think he will adapt to the tire strategy. I think it gives him an edge. So I like Ross Chastain over Chase Elliott. I like Ross Chastain really every way. I don't know how much I'm going to go into how many outrights I'm going to have this week, just because of I feel like Bell or Blaney's probably going to win this. But yeah, you could get him other ways. I think he's around the same price as Chris Buescher for top 5. Top 3 is fine.
Okay.
I like the price on this. plus 120 over Elliott.
All right, excellent. Anything else that you've got in play this week?
That's about it for right now. I'll wait to see qualifying tomorrow, and then I'll probably add some other stuff.
Okay. Sounds like a plan. All right. So we got no trucks this week, right?
Correct.
All right. So let's talk a little Xfinity. Where's Xfinity at this week, Tom?
Same thing, Phoenix.
Also Phoenix. Okay.
Mhm.
And what are you on there?
All right. So I like two guys, and it's funny because one's a veteran, one's a rookie. My first guy is Eric Amarola. As I said, he's a veteran. He was in the Cup Series for a long time. Now he's coming down to the Xfinity part-time. He's in good equipment. He's great at short flats. This is the kind of track that he's really good at. He is the second biggest favorite at plus 400, but I like him. I also have a long shot. That is Christian Eckes. So he hasn't raced here in this Xfinity car, but he has been great in the Truck Series. He's pretty much dominated every Truck Series race in Phoenix. And I think you can get top 10s at Bet 365 for Xfinity now, too. So check that out. But I think he does even better than that. So I like Christian Eckes. I forgot to write his price down. Okay. He's a long shot.
All right. So good payday. Even if he gets top 10, you're getting probably good plus money there, right?
Right. Yeah, I think I can't remember what I saw him at. 13-1 maybe.
Nice.
For the win.
All right. Very nicely done. That's and you said you like the Hendricks cars,
I do.
Okay. And just for people that may not follow NASCAR as much as you do, Tom, and for me, can you tell us who the Hendrick drivers are?
Yeah. So I'm wearing a hat. Kyle Larson, okay. Chase Elliott, William Byron, and Alex Bowman. I'm not too high on Alex Bowman this week. This isn't a very good track for him.
No, he's just got one top 10 in his last 10 starts, so that's probably somebody to avoid there. That's pretty fair stable of racers, right?
Yeah, they win a lot of races.
Yeah, they do. All right. Anything else you want to touch on before we get out of here?
I think that's about it.
All right.
Any other plays I have will be posted in the Discord. Xfinity's tomorrow at 5.
And if anybody's playing a one and done fantasy league or keeping track of yours, who do you have for this week in your fantasy league, or who are you looking at if you haven't made it?
I have Amarola for the Xfinity, and then I took Chase Briscoe for the Cup Series. I'm doing really, really bad. I'm like last in every league I'm in.
Well,
but on the bright side, I haven't used anybody yet.
Well, that's good. See, and you had a great strategy that failed horribly last week. You took the strategy you took the good driver that's an up and comer that isn't going to run any other races. And he ended up, like we talked about, that was Zilich, and he ended up just running into bad racing luck and finishing last. So
same thing should happen with Almirola. If he doesn't win, I didn't burn a guy.
Yep, absolutely.
Briscoe doesn't have a lot of tracks that he's really good at either. This is one of his best ones. So I have no problem burning him.
Nice.
Yeah, starting next week, we'll start getting into the big name drivers.
All right, very good. All right, guys, that's going to do it for us. Short and sweet. Man, it's amazing how quick we can go when we don't have two other people just yapping around here, huh? We'll try to we're going to try to have guests on most weeks this season, but sometimes the schedules just don't allow it. But we'll try to fire up a guest or two for next week. But, I'm going to be here. Tom's going to be here. So once again, guys, appreciate you being here. Appreciate you tuning in, especially those people that joined us live. Once again, don't forget to check out hitthepick.com, your number one sports betting information and picks in the world. So make sure you check that out as well. And yeah, we're going to Vegas next week, baby. Vegas. You ready?
I'm ready.
All right.
Yeah, it's Kyle Busch track. I'm a big Kyle Busch fan, so I'll be excited to cap that one.
They're running the desert portion of the series. They're going to be running in Phoenix this week, Vegas next week, and then the sub-Saharan African desert the week after that. So that'll be fun. Join us for the night rope.
The last spring race they had in Vegas, we had rain.
Oh, that's right.
It was cold. It was cold.
That's right.
It was colder in Las Vegas last year than it was in Philadelphia.
Brutal, man. That's you see that kind of stuff like in Phoenix or Vegas or Florida or whatever, and you're like, you know, there's people that have just spent multiple thousands of dollars to get there on vacation. This is their big blowout of the year or whatever, and you're in Vegas and it's just raining and it's 55, and you're like, well, this is just awful. So, all right. Hey, you guys have a great week. Let's go racing, Tom. You ready to cash some tickets?
Yeah, let's catch some tickets.
There you go.
Race day. It should be a fun one.
For myself, Scott's the Steehn Roller Steehn, and for this cat over here, Tom WryCape Macrina. Wish you guys nothing but the best of luck this weekend. Let's go out there and have a little fun, watch some racing, and make a little money. We'll see you next week on Hit